All right, greetings, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you guys from wherever in this beautiful planet you may be. Tonight, we're officially kicking off the April class for the 5-day podcast leads challenge. I'm super excited. We have an amazing group here, and I want to share with you not only my story, but also the gift that I've been blessed with, and that is how you can leverage podcasting to share your story, display your expertise, and connect heart to heart with the exact ideal audience, even if you have no audience to start with, and without spamming. I will share with you the exact same approach that allowed me to get over closing now on 100 high-ticket clients with a YouTube channel of less than 200 subscribers. Because again, one thing that I noticed is that business is not a numbers game. Sure, numbers matter, but ultimately, it's a relationship nurturing process. We do business with people we connect, relate, and trust. So this is what I'm going to be sharing with you guys because we're all heart-centered, purpose-driven entrepreneurs. I want all of you guys to launch your profitable podcast so you can make as much money as possible in order to bless other people around you. And so together we can create a better world. So that's what I'm all about. Are you guys ready and excited to get going? All right. So before we start, I'd like to have every single one of you guys introduce yourself. 30 seconds, 30 to 45 seconds. Tell us what's your name, where you from, what do you do, and what is your goal? What do you want to achieve to your podcast? So let's start from the top. Mark, brother.
The crayons over there, right behind you.
If you're not talking, please mute yourself. All right. Katana, good morning, champ. Good to have you with us. All right. So Mark, brother.
I'm from New Zealand. I'm a wealth making opportunities educator and founder of the Strangers Group. And we help you to sell your products, services, become the entrepreneur that you want to become, and many other things. So.
And what do you plan? What is your goal that you want to achieve to your podcast?
Yeah, well, I'm getting I have a charity as well. So getting the charity leaders, we're getting their vision and mission out. And also I have a company that supports entrepreneurs and doing that as well for the entrepreneurs. They can sell their products and services, give them their story.
Beautiful. Awesome. Love that. So before we go any further, type on the chat, 1, if you have a podcast, and 2, if you don't have a podcast yet. Katana, you should write 3 because you have multiple podcasts and Awesome. 2 podcasts. That's it, Katana. You're slacking. What's wrong with you, my friend? Okay. All right. Leslie has a podcast. Okay. And if you do have a podcast, mention whether it's already monetized or not. Okay. Awesome. Now, next, Johnny. Oh, we're sticking to New Zealand. All right.
Kia ora, another Kiwi here. I'm known as Johnny Bear. I express myself in a couple of different ways. One of them as a soul chef. So I have just ready to launch Soulfire Cuisine, which is a more healthy, holistic way of eating and lifestyle. And that also ties in with my life coaching, transformational life coaching, personal development. And also on the fringe of all of that, I offer my services as a soul whisperer. And behind that is, many years of Reiki Grandmaster, Druidry, shamanism, and going back into our ancestral lineage of gypsies. My mother was a tea leaf reader. So, expressing the ancestral gifts, but how does that translate in the modern world? So new to podcasting. I'm a little fish in a little pond. So I just believe I've got something to share. Well, I know, I don't believe it. I know I've got something to share, and I just really looking to get that out to a wider audience. I'm the director of the Wellbeing Foundation, and we have a lovely place here, 10-acre property called The Sanctuary, where we help a lot of people.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, brother. You definitely have an incredible message, incredible gift. You've been blessed with to share it. And this is what we're going to be working on, bringing your gifts, your message to the world. So thank you. Sophie. Unmute yourself, please. Go ahead.
Hi,
Hello.
my name is Sophie Hill Brown, and I have been working on a book project about the concept of respect. There's all different sorts of practical ways that we show respect that are contextual and culturally responsive, and I've been looking at the conceptual underpinning of respect that is more transferable, that ties together all these practical methods. And so through that research, I'm looking at things such as how do we address disrespect? How do we develop self-respect, become better at respect? How do we build cultures of respect, and how we solve problems better by centering respect? So that's my project, and I'm trying to hone in that messaging and figure out how I can make that very tangible, transferring the more academic and connecting that with our intuition and making sure that we can really use that in a way that we can transform the way that we work and talk and language with one another.
Beautiful. And where are you coming from? Which part of the world?
I'm from Portland, Oregon.
Beautiful. I think we have another person here from Portland, Oregon. My dear friend Suzanne. She's going to be... Yes. We'll get to... Yes. We'll get to her in a moment. Next, my brother from another mother, Jaime, campeón.
Thank you, Payman. Yeah, I'm Jaime Lancus Munoz, and I am from Colombia, Medellin, Colombia, but I live in Orange County, California, close to Disney, very close. So, yes, I go there all the time. I have a daughter, she's 11 years old, so she wants to go and enjoy there. I'm very, this is my second time, 2 times bestseller. Sector Surrender and Revolutionary Leaders with Payment in it. And third book, this just came out on the 28th, and it is #1 hot seller right now on bestseller on Amazon. So you guys want to support me on that, that's great. The book is about divine dreamers and lucid dreaming, astral projection, that's what I practice. Also, my daughter is in it, and she tells her story about being a rainbow spirit. And so yeah, something I experienced that she had when she was 4 years old, and she saw like colors, and suddenly she said she saw herself out of the body, and then she yelled at me in the car, "Papa Jaime, I'm a rainbow spirit," and I didn't even know what that was, so I had to look it up. And then now 10 actually, that was last when she was 10, she wrote the story, and now it got published. So I'm very excited about that. The book just came out, Divine Dreamers, and excited about that. And of course, why do I want the podcast? Because I think I would like to impact the world with a message. People using dreams for better beneficial, using our dreams for healing, creativity, self-growth, and we don't tap into our dreams. And in the dream world, there's so much that we can learn as we can learn in the physical world. So that's something that I want to teach other people, to tap into the inner world. And because we know the outer world, but we don't explore the inner world. So that's something that I want to help others to tap into. And awesome. That's pretty much where I am right now. So
thank you, brother.
And working on I like coming in here so I can probably open my podcast soon. And
about time, brother. About time. But we'll get it done, you know.
So thank you, Payman, and nice to meet you, everyone.
Very welcome. And I just want to congratulate you and commend you for not only becoming a 3-time #1 international bestseller, but the most amazing thing is that you invited your 11-year-old daughter to be part of it. That's an incredible gift you gave to her at such a young age. So congratulations. Let's give him a round of applause, everybody, because that's
Oh,
amazing.
thank you, Payman.
Yeah.
And the good thing about this book is that the proceeds will be going to the International Association for the Study of Dreams, which is they do dream research, PTSD, and it's an international dream study. So that's where I thought I need to do something for my community, dream community,
Beautiful.
and this is my way to help out.
Beautiful. And just an invitation for you and Margaret, your daughter. I want to interview both of you on my podcast, especially get Margaret's feedback and how she feels being an author and such a young age, why she said yes and what she wrote about and all of that good stuff. So book a time on Calendly for next week
Yes,
and we'll make
very
it
good,
happen,
Payman.
brother.
Thank you.
All right. You're
Yes,
welcome.
and you guys can find, and thank you, Payman. And you guys can find me with my name, Jaime Lancos Munoz. I'll type it on the chat. And
Yep.
if you like to find me on Amazon, you'll find me there. And please, 99 cents ebook, and that will help support the dream community. So thank you.
You're a great salesperson. Maybe I should hire you to promote me. Anyways, brother, thank you. Kimberly, welcome.
Whoops. I was just playing around with the screen. I didn't really mean to speak.
Okay,
Sorry.
no worries. Where are you coming from?
Where am I coming from?
Yes, where are you logging in from? Yes.
I'm from the Niagara region.
Okay, beautiful. Tell us what you do and what is your goal with that you want to achieve to your podcast?
I'm hoping to learn how to do a podcast, and I'd like to be successful at it, obviously. And I want to actually kind of tell my story about some things that have happened. And I also, I found out about your podcast through Rosemary that's here. I'm just trying to figure out, but anyways, I'm just trying to navigate myself and figure it out. But I've had a very long weekend because I am raising 3 grandchildren. And so that's why I'm not on. I didn't want anyone to see how terrible I look.
No worries. All right. Thank you for taking the time to spend your Monday night for you guys with us. So thank you.
I'm
Awesome.
looking forward.
Thank you. Same here. Ivy.
Hi, I'm Ivy. Kimberly actually introduced me here to this podcast and thought that I could get a lot out of it. I'm from the Niagara region. I'm a mom of 3, and then I've kind of got like a wide spectrum of things. I'm a musician. I'm in a band. So it could definitely help with promoting musical events and whatnot. And then I also actually run a small business called Sweet Violet's Remedies and Beyond. So we do like holistic home remedies, and then we also do like natural aesthetics like bath boards, and we do like cedar baths and different things like that, and on spot gardening. Oh, that's my little one. So yeah, I just thought that it was a useful thing to learn. Sorry, my baby boy here is waking up.
No worries. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Thank you. Phil.
Hi, my name's Phil Routley. I live in Chilliwack, British Columbia on Canada's west coast. Been involved in Christian leadership for over 55 years, including 32 as a pastor. Now what I'm doing is working with Christian entrepreneurs. In many cases, people who have started businesses and quite simply it's not working the way they hoped that it was going to. We talk a lot about the growth curve that follows any business from birth through growth to maturity, when it plateaus, to decline to death. And when it starts to decline, people start losing sleep. They aren't able to spend the time with their family. They're concerned about any employees that they have. What do you need to do in order to turn that back up? So my coaching has everything to do with initially gaining clarity on exactly who they are, what their condition is, essentially like find a GPS. GPS doesn't work until it first knows where you are, and then it needs to know where you want to go and charts the course in between. My goal with the podcast is to try and simplify my business, because I've got something else going on right now, which is more than a full-time job. And so right now it's about rebranding, it's simplifying. Phil Routley coaching is just got to be a whole lot simpler than it's been. So trying to get away from the distractions while getting the biggest bang for my buck and getting the message out. And I think that's where the whole idea of a podcast is going to be best for me.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Phil. Thank you. Love what you're doing. And we'll
Thank
definitely
you.
get your gifts out there. Leslie.
There I am.
There
Okay. So I'm Leslie Nace, and I live in Vermont. I don't know if it counts, but I'm only an hour and a half away from Montreal, less than that to the border. But there's so many Canadians here that I feel, you know, that you're just like the kissing cousins across the border here. So I help successful, driven professionals who are really good in their industry, yet they're to that point of they're overwhelmed, they're overloaded, they're starting to break down and very close to burnt out. But they're waking up kind of with a spiritual awakening and wondering, what's my purpose? And so I help them to realign and recenter whether their purpose is still where they're at in the business they're at, or whether it is their uniqueness in their own right, and discovering that and how to pursue that. So I actually have two programs. One is on a TV, but it's that's called Ignite Your Uniqueness, and that's on the Win-Win Women platform. That's one thing I'd like to turn into a podcast, but I do have another podcast TV show called Client Whispers, where I interview people on, and that's all about intuition and business. So thanks.
Beautiful. Love that. Love that. Thank you. Thank you. Shannon. From tropical Calgary.
Hello. Yeah, tropical Calgary. Hello, everyone. My name is Shannon Mondor, and I live in Medicine Hat, Alberta, Canada, which is a Western province. So I am an author. I wrote a book, which is called How in the Hell Did I Get Here? Forever Changing the Genetic Blueprint. And that book is basically about my personal journey of how I was brought up in an abusive home full of addiction and mental illness, and how it was normalized throughout my whole entire life. I myself as well became addicted to alcohol, and I talk about my whole entire journey of where I was to where I am now, and how I healed myself and the tools and everything that I went through the process of it. And then I've got a podcast which is called Fulfillment and Faith, and that particular podcast is, I just look at it as a tool, just like I look at my book as a tool for all the things that I've created within my life. And what I talk about on my podcast is I have guests all over the world. So any of you that might be interested, I would love to have a meet and greet with you. And what I talk about on there is I have my guests talk about their journey, about where they were and where they are now, because so many of us out in this world, we feel like we are the only ones. And that's what my series is called right now. It's called You Are Not the Only One. Because how many times in my life did I feel like I was the only one? So I was so afraid to go forward, cross that barrier of fear. And it's through those lessons of fear that's where we grow and we become the individuals that we are today. So yeah, so like I'll put that also in my notes as well, and you can go on to Fulfillment in Faith and you can start listening to some of the podcasts. I am a public speaker. I've got, if anybody's in the Dallas area, May 18th, I'm going to be speaking down there. And I'm also going to be doing a workshop on identity. I love talking about identity because most of us carry an identity that isn't ours. I carried an identity for 50 years that was actually my brother's, my abuser, and that I was dumb, I was stupid, I was ugly, I was never going to amount to anything. And then I had my moment of awakening, and that totally changed my whole entire life. So what else? Oh, so I am a public speaker, and I just finished doing my TED Talk in Las Vegas, January 27th, and it should be out in April. I'm really hoping that it's out in April so everybody can see it. And I also am a transformational mentor. So I've got 3 programs. The first one is called Awakening to Awareness. And that's where you do actually wake up for the first time and you're like, how in the hell did I get here? Which I named my book. And it's, you know, where do I go from here? And so I do an 8-week program with the individuals, with my clients. And then if they want to grow even further, then I've got Rise Above. And that's where we start getting more into identity, or of the generation and all of that, right? The generations, how our impact of our family and everybody has on us. And I talk in depth about vibration. And then my third program I've got is called Fulfillment in Faith. And that one is a 6-month transformational. And that literally teaches you how to get everything you absolutely desire in your life. So the end goal with my podcast, like I said, it's just a tool. It's one of the small tools in my toolbox. But my main goal with my podcast, yes, is to get to people to know me, who I am, because I'm extremely vulnerable on my podcast as well. But also to promote absolutely every area in my life. And also the biggest thing is to let people know that you are not alone. And to have people come on and for them to share their stories so they can help others out there. And also to provide that safe environment for somebody that's never had that chance to share their story for the first time. And that's why, because I'm providing that safe environment for these individuals.
Thank you, Shannon. Wonderful. Love that. Thank you. Rosemary.
Hello again, and it's so nice, Kimberly. Glad you made it, and Ivy, so nice to see you or hear you, and all these familiar faces this evening. So my company is the Riva Experience, and I chose that name originally to be Rosemary Evangelista Virtual Assistant, and it just didn't vibe. Once I researched it, it actually is the name of a Hindu goddess who takes us from darkness to light with courage and strength. And that's been my journey through self-sabotage. So I do have a book also in the works called My Passage Through Self-Sabotage. I'm also working on my podcast, which I would love to interview others, and also to find out about their journey, what they've done or haven't discovered about themselves through self-sabotage. What's the other thing? Oh yes, I'm launching a 5-day transformational journey on self-sabotage, bringing from self-sabotage to finding the purpose. And that is the key. And I think what everybody was talking tonight about what their different niches are is really the same, but different branches of the challenges that we all go through. And once we recognize what those challenges are, for me, was self-sabotage. And so that's what I'm going to be speaking about. And there was one other thing that I can't remember because I'm still fighting this headache tonight, and I may leave early because I'm not 100% tonight. So I apologize if I just suddenly disappear. But yeah, anyway, it's nice to see everybody and look forward to speaking with all the newcomers.
Thank you. I'm really happy and glad to have you here and very proud of you because you're an action taker when I've seen you taking action on things, and I'm mega cheering for you. And I know you will succeed. It's a matter of time. Congratulations on your 5-day challenge. Can't wait to see your podcast launched. Awesome.
Me too. Thank you.
Very welcome. I don't know which one is your real name. Is it Champ? Is it Katana? Which one is your first name?
Yes. My name is Katana Malinowski. I am a transformation art and wellness strategist. I work with women who've experienced domestic abuse and violence to find peace and joy in their lives. My goal is to reduce violence in the United States by 1% over the next 10 years. Not a small feat, but I know that I can do it. That's actually more my first podcast, which I did Payments First Class, and
When was that?
absolutely
In the last century, right?
yes. And I absolutely loved it. I too became a two-time international best-selling author along with these gentlemen. And it was payment that opened all these doors through the podcasting. So I'm gonna say more power to everybody. I am getting ready to launch. That's why I'm here this week. It was gonna be this week, but unfortunately this was postponed. Maybe that was all for good reason. I am launching my next podcast, and it is Katana Malinowski, the People's Champ. I am using my political experiences to amplify the voice of the people to our political leaders. So these people, so everybody, every one of us can be seen, heard, and express what's going on out there so that the real world can come forth instead of being hidden by the shadows of the media that has a particular lane. I'm also getting ready to launch children's book series.
Wow.
And my autobiography. So I'm busy working.
Amazing. Didn't know about the
And if
children's
I
book.
may share, I'm really excited, and I helped a client improve his heart function from 20% to 40% with my program. So I'm really, really excited about that. It's affirmation for all of us that are doing this work.
Congratulations. Well done, Katana. Listen, you need to book a time for my calendar for next week to bring you back for episode number, what, 25 of our talks? I want to hear more
I've
about.
got so much hiding payment.
I know. I want to know about your children's book, your all of the good things you're doing. When you first took the program way back 3 years ago, almost, you went crazy. You were like, you did like 30 episodes in 1 month of the podcast. I was like, whoa, this girl is on fire. That's
Yes.
amazing. Wow. Awesome.
I
Book a
want to
time.
add that she interviewed me too
Of course.
Yes.
on the first one. It was awesome. We had a good time.
Yeah.
Yes,
Now
we
we need
did.
to interview her as well. Awesome. Thank you, Katana, for being here with us. Always a pleasure having you with us. Thank you. Book that time, okay? Awesome. Karen, thank you for being here with us tonight.
Well, thank you. This is an amazing experience. I have been through how to do a podcast, doing all the technical setup. I had a coach help me do that, but I have not launched my first podcast. I'm a mental fitness and performance coach. I work with leaders and athletes. I'm an amateur athlete myself.
Wow.
And I work with leaders who are active, but who have that sabotaging thought. So we have quite a few people here. I know Shannon and Rosemary. Yes, I work with through the positive intelligence with Shazad. I'm certified through that program, so I am able to launch my boot camp. I just finished a boot camp. I'm launching a new one, another one April 6th. I just did a webinar last week to promote my boot camp, and if anybody's interested in it, it's an amazing program. What else? So I'm launching a 9-month program for my Grow program, which is about mental fitness, energy, and all that. I wasn't really ready to talk about myself, but I'm really impressed with this whole group that I've met. I don't know anybody here. I was introduced to you, Lorenzo, from a friend of mine I told her I wanted to start doing about podcasts. I don't know really what to talk about, what to do, but I have so much to talk about and so much to do, and I would love to be on someone's podcast and even have people on my podcast. So, yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for being here. Who's the friend that connected you to me?
I have to think about it.
No worries. So let's connect. I will post my Facebook profile. It's all of us. If you're not connected, connect to me, and I would love to have every single one of you on my podcast to showcase your stories. And let's do that. Awesome. Thank you. Suzanne, my wonderful, wonderful, wonderful friend. Vroom, vroom. Are you still filming?
Hello. How are you?
Doing wonderful.
Payman,
Vroom,
long
vroom.
time no
I
see,
know.
right?
How are
So,
you doing?
hi everyone. What am I doing?
No,
Is that what you said?
how are
Or
you,
how am I doing?
how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Just rolling in to the house here, guys. So, you were with me. I was listening on my way home. So, hi, I'm Suzanne Hobus. Hi, Sophie. I'm here in beautiful, oh my God, it's so beautiful here in Portland, Oregon. Right now, today, we have been waiting so long, it seems, for this wonderful weather. So let's see. First and foremost, I'm a children's book author, an illustrator. I have a children's book series. Book 1 is coming out. Let's see. I'll have it printed by the end of April, I'm sure. The Kickstarter is still active through Wednesday. If anybody wants to hop on board and pledge, take a look at my beautiful main character in the book, and if you feel so inclined, go ahead and pledge. So that is good through April 13th. Midnight. So anyway, that's first and foremost. But then secondly, which, I'm sitting here, I want to come forth. Let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm also trained energy worker in Chios method. But here is what I love, and that is fast cars and racing, which is the other thing that Payman, well, that's the thing that Payman, and I have lots to talk about. So, yes, race car driver in NHRA. I'm a licensed race car. I'm licensed to 260 miles an hour and a quarter mile. But that is one idea for a podcast, but then also I really do feel a resonance with Joy Stories. So Joy Stories is my children's book series, and the series is entitled Joy Stories. First book is A Banana Slug Gets Her Name, be out very shortly. So there's that. I think I've covered everything.
That's pretty much it. Wow, what a story. I love your story, and especially, wow, we had quite a few podcast episodes. Love your passion for car racing. That's something I'm very passionate as well. So
Yes.
boom, boom, keep boom, boom. Okay, and cheering for you
Boom.
for your
All right.
Kickstarter. Mega proud of you. Awesome. Well done.
Thank
So
you.
we're
Yes.
gonna make that happen. Awesome. Now, last but not least, Marianne, tell us a little about yourself.
Hello, everyone. Well, I'm very honored to be here. I'm Payman's little sister. Just no pressure, though. But yeah, a little bit about me. I'm currently in Toronto, Canada, and I hope to have my own podcast soon. I've been on a spiritual awakening and healing journey, and I love to be able to share my experience and the tools that I've learned along the way with other people to hopefully help them in their journey.
Thank you. It's an honor having you of all people here, Marianne. Very proud of you and what you're doing. So
Thank you.
cheering for you all the way. And you're in a
Thank you.
community with amazing people here that's going to all support you.
I see that. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Very welcome. Awesome. All right, guys. Wow. I'm buzzing. All right, let's get going. Wow. Okay, let me share my screen here. I see people waving. What are you guys waving at?
Payman. Sorry, I wanted to, raised my hand, but you didn't see it. I forgot. I have to say this, guys. This is my second time around with Payman, and he is totally awesome. He is so patient, and you will learn so much from him, even through these 5 days, you'll learn so much more about doing your podcasting and doing different ways if you already have one. So I have to say thank you. I'm sorry I forgot to mention that because that was top of my mind to say that to you. And I'm from St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. So I forgot that too. Anyway, enjoy. This is going to be an amazing 5 days, guys.
Thank you. I appreciate the kind words as always. Absolutely. I loved having you first in the 5-day challenge back in January, and then was very honored for you to say yes and join the academy, and was amazing working with you and getting you get your gifts out to the world. So really honored to be able to be a part of your journey. So thank you for this opportunity. Thank you. Awesome. All right, now let's get going. You guys ready to rock and roll? Okay, let me get my slides here. Okay, perfect. Okay, share screen. I think it's this one, is it? Yeah. Okay, do you guys see my screen? Okay, let me go to present mode. At any time, any questions, guys, don't be shy, just raise your hand. And at the end, we'll also have a Q&A, but I like to keep it as engaging and interactive as possible. All right, let me check the chat. Okay, thank you, Katana. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. So today, first of all, welcome to everybody. Thank you for taking the time in your busy schedule, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever in this beautiful planet you may be. It's an honor having you for the April class of the Free 5-Day Leads Podcast Challenge. I'm going to explain to you how podcasting has completely changed my life in every aspect. And I'm going to show you how you can get leads on demand to your own podcast and YouTube channel, even if you have no existing audience, without spamming and no ad spend. The exact same method that allowed me to get a little bit over 18 months, closing now on 100 high-ticket clients, and all of that with a YouTube channel of less than 200 subscribers. So you guys excited about that? All right. So today is the kickoff call. I have posted the menu, the content of the of each day for the next 5 days inside on my website. When you guys signed up initially, podcastleadschallenge.com, and I will have some incredible guests for you guys on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So make sure you come for those. Those are incredible people that are very successful at the highest level of business. One is going to be, if you know, have you guys heard of Alex Hormozi? Yes, Alex Hormozi is one of the smartest guys out there, geniuses. Is 32, is only doing $200 million a year. And I will have the honor of having his former head of content marketing, Hannah Newman, do a talk for us on Wednesday. And on Thursday, I will have another incredible guest, one of my past students from the last class, Jillian. She's incredible. She did over $30 million in tech sales in the last 8 years, and she's going to talk to us about selling and crafting your message. And then on Friday, I will have my good friend Misha, who is an incredible, prolific, very successful podcaster, and he has an incredible offer and business of and a gift of allowing us to get. We'll show you how to get on 50. Is it 50 or 100 podcasts in the next 90 days to really get you to the moon? So he's going to be talking to us on Friday, and might even have another surprise for you guys tomorrow. So keep an eye on that. I'll do whatever I can to bring as much value for you as possible, not on top of what I will be presenting you guys. So yeah, I'm excited. So so by the end of this 5-day podcast, the challenge, you will have an actionable blueprint to launch your profitable podcast and or YouTube channel. I recommend both, because some people will enjoy, some of your audience will enjoy more listening, while others will prefer to watch. So you want to make sure you provide them with both options. And once you do have your you launch your podcast or YouTube channel, you will be able to have your own platform to get leads on demand for your business, to your podcast and YouTube channel. For me now, I'm blessed that I can get 10, 20, 30 leads. And these are not random leads. These are highly qualified, responsive, and warm leads anytime I want. My issue is not getting the leads. My issue is having the time to fill my to fit them all in. So once you get to see how this is possible, getting your leads is no longer going to be an issue because, that's one of the most biggest challenges that most of us online entrepreneurs, especially coaches, faces. Where the hell I'm going to get my leads? Where's my next client coming from? And this is why podcast is incredibly, incredibly powerful when done the proper way, the way that I'm going to be teaching over next week. So agenda for today, we already done the first part, which was housekeeping, meet and greet, getting to know each other. I'm going to now tell you briefly about my story. I've told my story numerous times on my podcast with 330, almost closing on 300. I released episode 325, which was yesterday with actually Phil. Shout out to you, brother. Amazing story. Episode 324 or 25, something like that. And also in my books, 4 books and counting. And yeah, I'm going to be sharing with you how podcasting has completely transformed my life way beyond just the financials. For some of you who know me from before, I used to be incredibly, extremely shy. And podcasting allowed me to overcome that. That for me is the greatest gift that podcasting has blessed me with, because that opened up everything else for me. Speaking of self-sabotage, that was my biggest self-sabotage. I was incredibly shy with a very low self-esteem. And podcasting was allowed me to completely kill that once and for all. Also, I'm going to be talking to you tonight, some of the misconceptions and myth about starting a podcast. So let's get going. Anytime, any question, feel free to raise your hand. Don't be shy. And at the end, we'll also have a Q&A. So first of all, I'm a Canadian expat. I've been blessed to have lived in 14 countries on 4 continents, currently coming to you from beautiful Da Nang, quite sleepy, but amazing and fun beach town in Vietnam. Right now, it's 7:45, it's only 28 degrees. The AC is at the max. The beach is calling. Love it. People are incredibly friendly. It's incredibly inexpensive, but high quality value here. All of the things that, that we all want to enjoy life, because there's more to life than just where you're born. But anyways, that's something I'm very passionate. I can talk about it a lot. But and my journey so far, I've been blessed to live in many countries and speaking so far 6 languages and counting. I'm a connector, collector, and cheerleader. When people ask me, I'm a very outgoing guy now, complete opposite of what I used to be. I love going to events, networking events. Actually did 2 talks this past 10 days ago on podcasting in front of a crowd of entrepreneurs here in Da Nang. And when people ask me, what do you do? I don't tell them I'm a podcaster or an author. I tell them I'm a connector. I'm a collector. Oh, what do you collect? I collect success stories, testimonials, case studies. So what is your business? My business is about making, how can I make you shine brighter than you're currently shining? This is what I do, and this is what I've been doing to my podcast, my books, and my academy, and everything. So I love connecting people. I'm the biggest cheerleader for people. I love inspiring, empowering, and uplifting people to go after their dreams. That's what I'm all about. And I'm also the founder and host of the Leaders Without podcast, YouTube channel, and movement, because I see my podcast much bigger than just a podcast. My goal, my ultimate aim is to build a global movement of purpose-driven, very successful entrepreneurs who are building businesses with a heart, with a purpose, with a cause. So we can all, sure, we all need to make money, but let's do so in a way that's meaningful, impactful, and purposeful. That's what I'm all about. And the last three and a half years now, I took 6 months off, which turned into 1 year off. So I've been able to, so far, I've done 325 episodes of my podcast, 4-time #1 national best-selling author. The first 2 I did with Katana and Jaime as myself contributing a chapter. This is the first volume of my own books, where I invited guests from my podcast to come share the story. This was released at the end of September 2022 to celebrate 2 years and 200 episodes of my podcast. And then the second one, the latest one, just recently at the end of January, to celebrate 3 years and 300 episodes of my podcast. Beyond honored to have been able to, in a position to allow this, to invite people, to offer this opportunity for people to come share their gifts with the world. So that's a little bit about me. Most of you know me, but that's who I am. How podcasting has changed my life. So before podcasting, let me just, okay. All right. Before podcasting, as I said, I used to be incredibly shy, very low self-esteem. I used to be, because, I have a big nose, no hair. I used to be fat. So my self-confidence was in the gutter, and podcasting completely helped me overcome that. Before the pandemic, while living in Asia, I was trying to build a business, didn't work out. I literally ran out of money. If it wasn't for a friend of mine, allowed me to crash at this place for a year for free. I would have been on the street, living on $20 US per week. While I was at my lowest financially, it was some of my happiest moments in my life. But I knew I would get out, but I didn't know how. And this is when podcasting came and literally saved my life. And yeah, so I was completely in the gutter, credit destroyed. I had to ask my older sister to book me a ticket to come back home. And to a blessing of podcasting and understanding, having my own awakening, understanding two key important things that community changed my life. Number one, the tremendous power of asking the right question. Before my awakening, I used to ask the wrong questions, such as why me? What did I do to deserve this? Why is life so unfair? And then start to understand that, hey, I need to ask better questions, more empowering questions, such as what is this trying to teach me? What is a lesson for me to learn to that? And then listening to the voice in my head, because that voice, those gut feelings, that's your soul. When your soul talks to you, it's for two reasons: keep you safe, protect you, and keep you alive, and then guide you to the next level. Summer of 2020, having dinner with family, completely disconnected from business, I had an idea coming to my mind, start a podcast. Kept coming for a few weeks, then I finally started my podcast. A year later, still broke as a joke. Another idea came to mind, start an academy. What do you mean start an academy? But what I did, I took action on those, and I'm so glad that I did, because those two decisions completely changed my life. I went from being very shy, no direction, broke, to no direction, jumping from one shiny object to another, to now being the person I am. No more shy. Now I have the complete opposite. When I start talking, I can't shut up. Some of you that have talked to me know that. I regained my self-confidence, my self-esteem. Most importantly, I've been able to find my voice, my purpose, my destiny. And of course, in the process, I've been blessed to get back in my feet financially, my best shape ever. Now living my life. Left Canada in November 2022, been living around the world. Last year, I spent most of the year in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. The picture you see behind me, that's the swimming pool of the building. I spent 6 months last year. I love Malaysia. And then now I'm in Vietnam. This summer, I plan on spending some time in Eastern Europe before coming back home to Canada. And then after that, in the spring and the fall to go wherever adventure calls me. And so, yeah, podcasting allowed me to find my voice, my purpose, my destiny, kill my shyness once and for all, find my own platform to share my gifts, understand why I'm here for, and what is my mission, and that is to empower, inspire, and uplift people. And now living my life the way I've been always dreaming about. So that's my personal story in a nutshell. Now, so I already asked you guys how many you guys have currently your podcast, and so far I believe 2 or 3. Shannon and Katana, all you have your podcast, and the rest of you don't have your podcast. So now, let me ask you, all of you guys, a question. What is the number one reason that has been holding you back from launching your podcast? Raise your hand, 2 or 3 of you, and then type in the comment section the number one reason that's been holding you back. So raise your hands. Let's hear a couple of you guys. Rosemary, yes.
Well, as you might have heard from my talk before, I have so many things on the go, and I have to decide which one do I go for first. And my goal was to get this podcast going, because I figured that's how I'm going to get known better and to be able to reach more people. But in looking at the other things I need to do, because they all tie together. But I'm doing the 5-day journey first, which is going to introduce to me or others to my podcast. So it's like you can't be working at 6 different pots at the same time. You have to pick one, get that started, and then from there get on to the other ones. So that's the reason I've been held back on getting my podcast out there right now.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Johnny.
Yeah, for me, it's knowing nothing about podcasting. Really, it's only that I've been standing up to speak to a bigger audience, and I go, well, how do I do that? And then learning about Facebook marketing and all of that kind of thing. And then podcasting came in. So I went, oh, well, what's that? So I'm a virgin to all of this. But from what I see, it's a great platform to speak on and get it out. So yeah, that's why I'm here.
Thank you, brother. You're in the right place. Let me read some of the comments here. Phil, I don't know how yet. That's about to change. Absolutely. Karen, fear of speaking. My aspiration Let's see. Where did it go? Fear of speaking. My aspiration is to be a powerful speaker and an inspirational plan to inspire 10,000 individuals. Love that. Love that. You're in the right place. Shannon, you have a YouTube channel as well. Awesome. Leslie, my biggest goal is to bring my podcast work to YouTube channel and monetize it. You're in the right place, my friend. Kimberly, making you and your dreams a priority. Absolutely. Okay, Mariam, thank you for being with us. Take care. Good night. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Let's keep going. Now, most common reasons not to start a podcast. So what I do at the end of my academy, I host a once at the end of each class, I host a graduation party where we celebrate each other, and then I ask them one question: what was the number one reason holding you back? And when I listen to those people, I've noticed some of the most common reasons, and the one that really pains me the most, because that was also what was holding me back, and that is, who am I? Who's going to listen to me? I'm a nobody. My story doesn't matter. I don't matter. I'm not an expert. I don't have a PhD. I'm not a celebrity or an expert, or I'm not the best looker or whatever. All those reasons, I've heard them. But the main one is, who am I? Who's going to listen to me? My story doesn't matter. I'm not an expert in anything. But then I realized that couldn't be further from the truth, because we all have incredible stories, gifts we've been blessed with. The fact that each of us have made it this far in life, that's a story. That's an incredible story, powerful story, amazing gifts that we've been blessed with. And those are worth sharing, because if your story, each and every single one of you, Johnny, Rosemary, Suzanne, Karen, and so on and so forth, if your story can inspire just one person, that's all that matters. We're not here to inspire the entire world. Sure, that would be amazing. But if your story can inspire just one person, or give them hope, or give them belief back in themselves, through your podcast, to sharing your story, to whatever means is more convenient for you, then that's success for it. So don't let anything. I just met recently a young student, incredible student. I wish she was here today. Very introvert student here from Vietnam. She speaks amazing English. She has she believes that she has speak issues, but she doesn't. It's a mental block. She thinks she's introvert, but she doesn't. And I told her, listen, it's not about that. It's not about you. It's about you sharing your gift, sharing your story, sharing your wisdom, even at your young age. And that's what podcasting is about, because don't let the fact that what you feel, what's stopping you, the self-sabotage that we all have inside of us, tell us, hey, who am I? I'm a nobody. I don't have an audience. I don't have a PhD or any letters after my name. I don't have the #1 international bestseller book after me. Nobody's gonna listen to me. No, don't let that stop you. Share your gifts, because this is what. Sorry, let me see. Okay, let me check the. Okay, okay. Next. So again, one thing that I realized, that it's not about me or you, but it's about sharing your gifts, your wisdom, your message, your lessons, your experiences, but ultimately sharing your gifts, because we all have incredible gifts. And most importantly, your story matters, your voice matters, you matter. No matter, despite whatever some people might have told you or tried to convince you, no, you definitely matter. Your story definitely matters. Your voice matters. So it's now time for you to share those, and podcasting is the best way to do so. Phil, you mentioned some other misconception about starting a podcast. You mentioned that you don't know where to start. That was also one of the reasons that was holding me back, because I'm not a techie, and I definitely wasn't a techie when I started. I was overwhelmed with all this technical questions. How I'm going to connect, what kind of microphone, how do I edit, how do I upload? I was completely overwhelmed, but then I realized it's not that hard. And with YouTube being the biggest university in the world, you can learn anything. It's what I've learned. It's what I've overcome to some extent my lack of being a techie. Time and money. It doesn't take a lot of time to start a podcast. I will show you how to starting your own profitable podcast can take as little as, if you want to go take it slowly, just an hour a week. But if you want to go all in, an hour a day, and that can have phenomenal return on your time. The last one is definitely a big one. Podcasting is saturated. Yes, it is true, but podcasting is booming. There's no crazy, I saw some stat in the US that said podcasting would double each year from 2023 and beyond. Podcasting has become the new radio, the new TV. More and more people are turning to podcasting. That's true, but there is always room for fresh new ideas, new perspectives. And there's only one of you, one of each of us, one of you, Johnny, one of you, Rosemary, one of you, Suzanne, one of you, all of us. There's only one of us. So come share your story with your own spin, with your own sauce. Add your personality. Don't censor. Don't suppress your personality. Don't try to be corporate. Be authentic. Be genuine. Never speak from a script. Don't even speak from me, but speak from here. If you can see it from the heart, that's where the magic happens. Share your story. Go ahead. And one of the things I will teach you in this 5-day challenge is how to identify your zone of genius and your gifts, and then embrace them and share them loud and proud to your podcast. Don't stop playing small, stop hiding them. Now it's time for you to step up and share your gifts, because ultimately that's what we are here for, to share our gifts. And the good news is that starting a profitable podcast can be launched in 3 easy steps in 3 weeks. First one is taking a look at the foundation, then the tech, and then the launch. We'll go over all of that throughout this week. So gonna cover that for you guys. And it can be done with a lot easier than you think, because I've been able to do it in a very simple way. And I will be sharing everything with you guys this week. I will not hold anything back, so that by the end of the week, you will be able to, just with the free information, to if you implement it, to run with it and launch your profitable podcast and YouTube channel. Now, we already covered that initially, but I would like also to ask you one more time, and this time write it down in one sentence, your top 3 goals, objective, and also share them inside the Facebook group. You're all by now inside the Facebook group. If you're not, please connect with me and I'll add you in the Facebook group. The Facebook group is amazing, incredible people, very supportive, very helpful. And some of you already are inside the group. You know how supportive and helpful the people are. So write down in one sentence the top 3. Wait. Let me see. Go back. The top 3 reasons. Come on. The top 3 objectives that you want to achieve through your podcast. Share them in both the comment, please, and also in the Facebook group. And raise your hand if you want to share it with us here. Who wants to share the answer?
I'll share.
Okay, go ahead.
So, a lot of the reasons that you just said, my main objective is to build followers. And with building followers is to get those leads for my business. And hopefully the last objective is to monetize it. If it can pay for itself, it's great, you know? So yeah.
Absolutely. And speaking of monetization, I will show you a different form of monetization, because the traditional way that is pushed by 99% of people out there is build a massive audience and then make your money through sponsorship, downloads, and viewerships. That's good, but that applies only for people who already have massive existing audiences, people, celebrities, or people who have, say, were world-renowned expert in the field with multiple PhDs. I have none of those. I don't know if any of you guys already have existing massive audiences, but to build an audience big enough for you to make enough income through it that you don't need to work anymore and focus full-time on your business, on the project that you're really passionate about, that will realistically take 5 to 10 years to build that kind of audience. For me, when I started in October of 2020, as I mentioned earlier briefly, I was beyond broke, and I didn't have that time. It would have taken me 10 years. I would have had to find a job because it takes too long. But then I stumbled upon a different approach, and I'm going to explain all of that to you guys over the next few days in this challenge, that allowed me to get, as soon as I implemented that approach, I get 6 high-ticket clients in the first weekend, and then 60 clients in 10 months. And then so far right now in 18 months, closing in on 100 high-ticket clients. And that's a way that I will share with you guys, not holding anything back. And this is exciting way because you don't have to have a massive audience to monetize your podcast and YouTube channel. When I say monetize, it doesn't mean for you to just get ad money from YouTube or Google, because that's going to take a lot of time. Just to get monetized the traditional way by YouTube, you need to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. That alone can take anywhere between 3 to 12 months, depending on the audience you have. And after that, I've been monetized. It took me 1 year to get monetized the traditional way through YouTube. And when I launch my videos, I purposely do not monetize them, because my views, if you go on my YouTube channel, I barely get any views, less than 20, 30 views per video, because that's not how I monetize my YouTube channel. I monetize a different way. I use my YouTube channel as a way to build that indispensable trust, confidence, and all that to my podcast. Because if I were to sell you this on Amazon for $10, you don't need to know me. You like it, you buy it. But if anytime you're trying to invest in yourself, invest in a coach, and invest in anything that's over $1,000, you definitely want to know the person. You definitely want to know me and have these 3 key questions answered. Is this person competent? Can I trust him or her? And last but definitely not least, can I do it? He did it, she did it, they did, but what about me? Can I really do it? And this is why what podcasting will allow you to really answer those 3 questions, so that when your audience listens to your message or watches you, they will be able to resonate with your message, connect with you heart to heart, and that's where the magic happens. So this is how I've been able to monetize my YouTube channel despite having absolutely no audience. I have for 90% of its life, it had less than 200 subscribers. Now I put in some work. Now it has a grand total of 1,353 subscribers. Some of you here are my current subscribers. But again, for me, I don't look at the numbers. I look at the connections, at the rapport I'm building with the people. And that's how I've been able to build, to monetize and change my life. And also now sharing this gift with with my students and with people around the world. Phil, yes, you raised your hand, my friend.
You ran through those 3 questions you want to answer so quickly, I wasn't able to write them down.
All right, so I'm going to be repeating those over and over the entire week. So those 3 questions are: 1, is this person competent enough? Number 2, can I trust him or her? And number 3, sure, he did it, she did it, but what about me? Can I really do it? That's ultimately the most important question that you will have to answer, regardless what you're selling. If you can answer that question in the mind of your prospect, then there is no need for you to sell. It's a done deal. Because if you can show the person, yeah, yes, you can trust me. Yes, I'm competent. I know what I'm talking about. And yes, you can definitely do what I'm showing you. Then it becomes a no-brainer. The only question they have is, okay, how do I start? What's the next step? As opposed to, what does he mean? What does she mean? How do I do it? How long is it going to take me? And so on and so forth. So these 3 questions are incredibly, incredibly important. And I'm going to dive way deeper into these 3 questions throughout the rest of the week. Because we need to answer those questions to be able to have a meaningful impact on your podcast. You're very welcome, Phil. Let me catch up on the messages here. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, Karen. Okay, yeah. Love that. Inspire, connect, and build my business. Beautiful. Kimberly, want to share my story and get my story told instead of allowing people to direct my narrative. I am the author of them. Absolutely, love that. Katana, my top 3 goals are: 1, to amplify the voices of the people to their political leaders; 2, to help the people be seen and by respective leaders; and 3, to build a connection with people who are interested in making changes for the better. Love that, absolutely. Rosemary, create awareness around self-sabotage, help people find the purpose; and 3, build the audience large enough to create the tsunami of knowledge to defeat self-defeating tactics, also to monetize it. Absolutely. We're gonna be shooting about an hour, but we're almost done here today. Kimberly. Okay. Phil, okay, become known as a leader in the strategy space, be known for the quality conversation with successful Christians in the business world, to connect with qualified coaching clients would value our relationship. Beautiful, love that. Awesome. Let me just, beautiful. Can't really read that, but beautiful. Shannon, increase leads to get people to purchase my program, help others to know what the story is important, and that the experience will help others to heal, to book me into more speaking events. Love that. Okay, yes. So Kimberly, about an hour, maybe some nights we can go about an hour to an hour, 20, 30 minutes. And yeah, awesome. Let's see. Any questions so far about what I covered so far about day one? Day one was a brief introduction. Day two, we're gonna go dive in straight into pure content and go way deeper into what I just scratched the surface today. So this is the content, a sneak peek into tomorrow's content. Why podcasting is so powerful for business and entrepreneurs. The benefits of podcasting for both you personally as a person and also for your business. This is gonna blow your mind because there's so many benefits that we don't even realize with podcasting. Okay, Karen, no worries. All the calls are recorded. I'll be posting the recording inside the Facebook group as well as inside the website, so you can watch them 2-3 hours after we finish the calls. So, any questions for what I covered so far? Don't be shy. Raise your hand.
Damon,
Yes.
it's me, Jen. Hey, the Facebook group is the same one that you've always had?
That's
For
the 5-day
first one?
The 5-day podcast, the challenge. Let me share. Wait, let me stop sharing and share the links here for anyone who's still not in the. Just give me 1 second, please.
The same as the first one? Same Facebook group?
Yes, it's called
Okay.
It's called the 5-day podcast lead challenge. Let me share the link here with you guys and the chat. Okay, please make sure that you're in the Facebook group, and once you're in the Facebook group, please send me a friend request and I will add you. And I will see. All right. So any questions before we call it a night for tonight? Any question? Once, twice, speak now, or remain silent forever. Is that how you say it, Phil?
I think this is going to be fun.
Oh,
Close.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Always.
All right. All right, guys. So thank you for making time to come here tonight. We're going to have a lot more fun the rest of the week. Tomorrow, same place, same link, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. And for those of you in New Zealand, 1 o'clock, right after lunchtime. So see you all. Thank you, guys. And good night, good day, good morning. Thank you.
Good night.
Make sure you save the chat and connect
Oh, yes,
with each
save
other.
the chat.
Connect with each other.
Yes. Hang on, where's thank you for reminding me.
Very welcome. Awesome. If you have any people that you feel would benefit, invite them as well. All right, Rosemary and Suzanne.
Bye, Payman.
Thank you. Thank you. Drive safely. Keep vrooming, okay?
I will. Bye.
Bye.
Good night, Rosemary. Thank you.
Good night. Good morning.
See you. Good night.